a reason why you should look at the stars. That is the title of this segment. And we want to explore why we should even look at the stars. Why we should only access this beautiful natural scenery throughout our day. Well, people need to understand that humanity is a very interesting story, and because it's an interesting story, we want to see what happens in the end. When you want to see what happens in the end, you realize that you're making predictions of where your race is going. When you're making those predictions, you need to be aware of what is around you. Because you see, there's different forms of inspiration and aspiration, if I may say. Some people are drawn to advancing their environments, not just advancing themselves. And some are just drawn to advancing themselves rather than advancing the environment. You see, regardless of the path of enhancement you choose, you need to look at the stars to realize where you are and orient yourself. The reason we need to, as humanity, orient ourselves, in other words, recognize the value of our individuality and our collectivity, when you orient yourself, you do not expect more from your imaginative potential creation. In other words, you don't need that. You don't need to step in the wrong shoes like that. You have good shoes. You know how to walk. Really know that the stars are really showing us how beautiful humanity could be if we unite. That is what the stars are showing us, regardless if we are communicating to anything from the stars. Just that vision of seeing stars in the sky shows us that we are aspiring for a new location of experience. We want to take human experience to different physical lengths, as in, how long we can experience. However, I want you to understand that the reason you should look at the stars is two reasons. One, you look at it because it's a nice sight. That's what a lot of people do. They're like, it's beautiful, the stars. They look at it. That's one way. Another way is without any other story and simply just looking at the stars. You simply look at the stars and you have no thoughts regardless of any process that is going on, such as how you're speaking and thinking. Regardless, through a natural view, look at the stars and really try to think how much you can feel you're connected to the stars by simply sitting down and paying attention to that idea. Try to have your own personal relationship with existence and to see the value in having that. In other words, by going through this path, you're naturally becoming more excited about existing. Therefore, more exciting potentials of existence show up for you. The stars are suggesting the peak of humanity, but also the peak of consciousness. We become not aware of only this physical space, not only aware of where we stand, not only aware of where we exist, but to see the beautiful unknown reach we may have into how advanced our consciousness can be in regards to our environments. This is plural. And this plurality hopefully demonstrates how there are multiple simultaneous presences and potentialities we can experience. I want you to think right now that you are experiencing one story of thought, which is your life. And I'm not trying to measure this small or anything. I'm just saying, look at your life and ask yourself if the peak evolution of any path of your life doesn't lead to a more connected world with existence. Sometimes I find that when I look at the stars, when they choose to show themselves, it is a beautiful moment of perception. Literally, there's a beauty of just seeing yourself in what you're seeing. And when people discover two mirrors looking at each other, there is an infinite glance. There is a heavenly glance in such awareness. You see, when you look at civilization and the planet you feel you want to save by changing, there are many different routes of change that one can take. How do you know as an individual what question to ask, which will be in an accurate reality of what path the world needs to be? What I've found is that when we really make contact with other civilizations and star civilizations or any other higher dimensional leap, before we make any higher dimensional leap, individual people need to understand that the first contact with stars is a collective one. It is not like a human making contact, an individual idea making contact. It is a collective knowing, which it becomes really the first touch. We must be aware of more than our physical bodies to perceive other bodies in which different wavelengths exist. If we are caught in a dimension where we're only perceiving our own limitation, others who are not in that wavelength of limitation don't want to come into that, don't want to tune us into a higher sense of consciousness in which a higher body can be seen. It's a collective touch that inspires first contact and makes it real. When you are trapping yourself into an individual construct as a person on this plane of existence, you must either be aware that you are a character in a story, or you become aware that you are the storyteller. When you are the storyteller, you can then receive other stories of creation, other beings, other origins of dimension. When you are the storyteller, the character is no longer lost. The human being is no longer trapped inside only the human construct, the idea. For me, I am inspired and I like infinite change, to see infinite change, to perceive an infinite potential of consciousness, and in a sense a higher tune than what our instruments are playing currently in our culture and civilization. When the song changes, the dance also changes as well. People are dancing right now unconsciously in a society that feels that they need to drink to become capable for a better experience, I heard the concept a while back. I'm going to bring this into this talk of experience hunter. I heard someone say experience hunter, and when you think what that idea means, it's not just psychedelics. It doesn't have to do much with psychedelics. Psychedelics is another degree of color, for example. However, when you know you're here and you are aware that you're experiencing, the experiencer can experience anything he wants, can tune into any potential existence to manifest as a vibrant reality for its urge. I want you to think that if you have human urges, if you have certain interests or certain ways of being in a certain way, think about how self-aware were the gods. Because if we are all capable of being godly and heavenly, is the heavenly also self-aware of its other? We need to speed up our stories to even see if they are real. In other words, feel it out. Feel out how you are alive and know that you have vision. You have a self-aware and creative point of awareness in your eyes and in this physicality. Allow yourself to receive everything by not having a filter of reception. Feel the godly with you, present and self-aware. Allow your ideas to inspire your excitement for greater, deeper, and more limitless ideas. The stars speak to us, I believe. When I look at a star, I think that is a very profound mirror for me. Because I exist alongside such presentation of my outside. And it is simply as if, you know how you agree with an idea, it's as if you are looking at a similar place as another. Your own experience can sometimes show you more than any other presented path may show and promise. You need to be very free in how you feel about everything. And by being like that, understanding that there doesn't need to be a tendency for your attention to create hostility in your vision, to smudge your glasses. Let your image glow for another and inspire another's reach. Humanity needs to learn its manners from stars. Just literally what they're doing. They are inspiring. Become an inspiring human being by letting yourself and your vision be seen through your everyday action. Inspiration is not a plan or a set to-do list. Inspiration is to allow self and all other presentations to experience an unspeakable life. like a star, let your ideas inspire you. And know that sometimes when you make a decision, you can always make a better decision when you go experience it or go through an experience. Sometimes experience tells you things that your logical predicting abilities can't. You simply need more experience to make or communicate a sense of knowing into the public. Nobility is a very beautiful presentation from a star. They are not trying to change, but know that regardless, many other beings are looking at its beauty. It's funny, little did the star know. Little did the star know the amount of eyes that were perceiving it. So, similarly, your alignment begins with your natural, sincere, contemplative decision to perceive more out of your existence and to allow yourself to really rethink many ideas of how you should be evolving. The evolution of consciousness is one of the biggest things our generation, our people, everyone who is alive and hearing this, can focus on. You see, humanity is evolving. We just need to make sure it's evolving well for us to have a collective and agreed and very connected expression of presence and identification, where we are identified not by our nations but by our planet, where we are really seen no longer needing to be judged in value but to perceived as a collective upbringing of such a generation of existence. It is something like that. And when they say shoot for the stars, because our eyes are not just only galaxies away from us, but very present and intelligent into communicating to us a higher expression of ourselves. This last bit might have been slightly confusing to some, but pretty much what I'm saying in this last bit is there is always more to everything than meets the eye. And may we comfortably breathe right now and let any tense or any other form of pressure to just naturally leave. Just be very comfortable and let it leave. Let it flow away. Let the drop pass the edge of the leaf. And look with all our eyes into the stars and the stars that light the earth. Thank you.